One guess who JBL is going after with their new Tour One wireless headphones. Now if you said Bose Quiet Comfort, maybe Sony XM4s, then you've smashed it. But are they good enough to compete with the current top spot of premium wireless Bluetooth headphones? They look great, don't get me wrong, but how do they perform? Find out in this review. The JBL Tour One wireless headphones are literally some of the softest headphones I think I've ever come across. They're coated in some kind of softer touch plastic which almost feels rubbery. The headband on top though is a leather material, so don't put too much pressure on here as you may end up stretching the material over time. There's a metal rod running through the band and they're pretty tough, and the cans themselves are on very stiff hinges to hold them in place while storing in a bag. The cans twist 45 degrees so you can wear them comfortably around your neck, and the memory foam ear pads are super soft as well. There is an included carry pouch in the box to keep them well protected when you are placing them in a handbag or a backpack or something like that. Now button placement is extremely simple and you've not really got much to go on. Most of the features are activated in the Partner App for your phone. Now, on the right ear cup you've got a power and Bluetooth pairing switch as well as a volume control. There is also a 3.5mm aux input if Bluetooth isn't your thing, and on the left you've got a USB Type-C charging port, which a cable comes with the headphones as well, and a button to switch between the ambient, aware mode and noise cancelling. Super simple stuff, and it doesn't clutter the headphones with loads of buttons. Sticking the headphones on and I noticed straight away that the clamping force of these headphones are pretty much non-existent, thanks to the cushions of the actual ear pads themselves. Now I was happy wearing these headphones for longer periods of time and they just felt so lightweight on my head, and also really across the crown here as well, as this has some really nice padding too. The ear pads can easily fit over my ears, no trouble or uncomfortableness, and it means that the noise isolation is at its maximum. The JBL Tour One headphones also detect when they've been removed from your head and will pause your music until you rest them back on your ears. Now tapping the right ear cup will play and pause your music, which is pretty cool. Double tap will skip the track forward, and a triple tap on the right ear or right headphone will skip the track backwards, all of which are super accurate to the touch, which is very, very nice. Now, I rarely found myself mistapping with these headphones. One thing though that I did really notice, and it's really down to the amount of time I used the headphones in one go or one session, is that the skin around my ears, especially around the backs, got a bit sweaty where it was touching the pads. Your mileage may vary, but I wanted to let you know this happened to me. A little bit gross, but I think it's where it hugs the ears so tight. Now it is definitely down to the materials used on the ear pads as well, but I'm not sure if it's something that I can really complain about, as the quality is so nice and soft and protected from clamping force, but it's just something to look out for. The ambient sound control feature was so good that when I first turned it on after listening to some Simple Minds, I heard some very heavy rainfall on what I thought was the actual music track itself, but the sound was actually coming from outside as it just began to rain. The pass-through worked fantastically and would be a great feature if you're in an office, or even if you're walking through the street and someone is trying to grab your attention, or you're listening out for car horns in case you walk into the road. Now you can't have the noise cancelling feature turned on at the same time as the ambient sound control, which is a shame, but to be honest, having them both turned on I think would defeat the purpose anyway. The noise cancelling did a fantastic job too, and there was no white noise hiss, and my PC fans and the rain outside were completely blocked out. Even my mechanical keyboard while typing this review sounded very heavily muted. The app offers some fairly decent features, including activation of the features already described before in this video. But you've also got a number of changes that can be made. Now the first big one is the voice assistant. Of course, being on Android, I chose my native Google Assistant. You can also EQ your music either through some preset options like jazz, bass and club, and you can also change the custom button functions. Finally, you've got the auto off timer function, which can turn on and off, and whether the headphones will pause when you take them off or not. There's a massive 50-hour battery life if you turn ANC off, active noise cancelling off, and use just the headphones in their standard mode, or this does cut to around 25 hours if the ANC is active. They do take around 2 hours to charge from empty to full too, which I think is pretty impressive. The sound quality of the JBL Tour One headphones though was absolutely insane, and I was super impressed with the amount of detail and clarity in my music, which saw vocal lines cut through instruments very, very well, and a super large soundstage on bigger orchestral tracks. I would definitely recommend EQing your music using the JBL app yourself though, as I found that their preset EQ settings may be a little too intense. I mainly listen to rock and metal music and some other types of music as well, so I'm all about the big power chords and double bass drums, and I found the preset EQs to just muddy my music slightly. I used the jazz preset as a starting point, then pulled back on some of the bass, and then raised the mid slightly. This meant that the bass was more controlled and clarity from vocals and hi-hats and cymbal crashes and that kind of thing could be heard. Now the other thing is these headphones aren't particularly loud. Not that I'm used to exploding music into my eardrums, but this definitely helps with the level of clarity that you can hear from your music. Now there is a huge amount of love about the JBL Tour One headphones. They've definitely impressed me quite a lot, and there's no secret in who they're chasing after with these. After all, they're pretty similarly priced to them, and that's the Sony WH-1000 XM4s. But they undercut Sony in price, which is a win for JBL. Now you can find them online for around £279, which isn't a bad price at all for what you're getting. Now I love the comfort of the JBLs, and the simplicity of the app is decent too. There are no fiddly menus to get lost in or a ton of features to get confused by. They're a simplistic set of headphones that look great and sound amazing. Thank you very much for checking out our video review of the JBL Tour One over-ear active noise cancelling headphones. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to keep up with our latest tech and gaming videos, and also let us know in the comments down below what you think about the JBL Tour Ones. Would you go for one of these? Would you go for the Sony XM4s, or I don't know, the Bowers and Wilkins PX Wireless, or the Bose Quiet Comfort 35 2s, something similarly priced to these? What would you go for? Personally, I really liked them. Very, very nice set of headphones, I must say. As I say, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.